He wasn't just a striker. He was an unleashed lion who roared across Italy and South America, devouring defenders and smashing goals in with thunderous certainty. Gabriel Batistuta was a force of nature, the man who played through agony yet refused to slow down. His nickname, Batigol, wasn't just catchy, it was prophetic. But despite the goals, the records, and the love of entire cities, Batistuta remains underappreciated in the grand halls of football legend. Today, we're telling his story. Gabriel Omar Batistuta was born on February 1, 1969 in Avellaneda, Argentina, a city obsessed with football. But his early years were far from glamorous. He wasn't the prodigy everyone expected to dominate youth academies. Instead, he was tall, strong, but raw, a bit uncoordinated even. Coaches didn't see a golden boy, they saw someone they might mold. Eventually, he found his way to Newell's Old Boys, then River Plate, and finally Boca Juniors, where he really began to refine the ruthless style that would define him.
There's grit and there's graft behind the glory and the art. And Gabriel Batistuta, a hero of Italian football from 1991 to 2003, knows all about the effort as well as the ecstasy. Batistuta!
Early career and move to Fiorentina. Batistuta's journey to Europe wasn't like that of many South American stars who went straight to the big clubs with lavish contracts and Champions League nights guaranteed. Fiorentina, while historic, wasn't AC Milan or Juventus. But when they paid around $5 million for him in 1991, it was a major statement. They were buying a powerful, determined striker with a cannon for a right foot and a warrior's mentality. In Florence, a city famed for Renaissance art and passionate tifosi, Batistuta immediately felt at home. He scored 13 league goals in his debut season, enough to make fans believe they had something special. His blend of brute strength, aerial dominance, and laser-like finishing wasn't common in Serie A's ultra-defensive landscape. He didn't just survive Italy's notorious marking, he thrived in it. But the journey wasn't smooth. Fiorentina was relegated in 1993, a devastating blow for a club trying to break into Italy's elite. Many assumed Batistuta would leave. Why wouldn't a striker of his caliber jump ship to a bigger club? But he didn't. He stayed. That decision would define his career and forever etch his name into Fiorentina folklore. Fiorentina loyalty and glory. Staying with Fiorentina in Serie B wasn't just loyalty, it was a declaration of war against mediocrity. Batistuta tore through defenses in the second division, scoring goals with the same ruthless consistency he'd shown in the top flight. He led them back to Serie A immediately, proving he wasn't there for the payday or easy headlines. Back in the big league, he unleashed one of the most dominant periods any striker has enjoyed in Italy. In the 1994-95 season, he scored 26 goals, winning the Capocannoniere as Serie A's top scorer, a phenomenal achievement considering the era's ironclad defenses and tactical fouling. He followed that with season after season of 20-plus goals, battling the likes of Maldini, Nesta, and Cannavaro, men who turned even the best forwards into shadows. Batistuta never backed down. He bullied defenders, scored volleys that seemed to warp physics, and fired in free kicks with staggering power. His right foot was a weapon of mass destruction, and he wielded it without mercy. Fiorentina fans adored him. In an era where top players hopped clubs without second thought, Batistuta embodied loyalty. He could have gone to AC Milan or Real Madrid. He could have chased titles and Champions League glory. But he stayed in Florence, a city that repaid him with a devotion bordering on religious. When Fiorentina finally won the Coppa Italia in 1996, Batistuta lifted the trophy as a conquering hero. It was no Serie A title, but to the city, it was validation. They hadn't just supported a superstar. They had supported a man who genuinely cared for their club. Over 9 seasons, he scored 207 goals in 332 appearances, making him Fiorentina's all-time top scorer. For the Viola faithful, Batigol was more than a player. He was their champion, their icon, their lion, the pain he played through. But behind the goals and celebrations lay a truth that makes Batistuta's story even more powerful. He was in pain almost all the time. Serie A in the 1990s wasn't just competitive, it was brutal. Defenders hacked, fouled, and kicked. Refereeing leniency allowed tactical fouling to reach savage levels. Batistuta was a prime target. Strong, prolific, and impossible to intimidate, he drew brutal challenges every game. Over time, the damage accumulated. He tore ligaments, he played on twisted ankles and bruised ribs. Most tragically, his knees became a site of constant agony. Years later, after retirement, he admitted he'd begged doctors to amputate his legs because the pain was so unbearable. He could barely walk at times, the price for a career that demanded everything from his body. Yet he kept playing, he kept scoring. No one saw the tears in the dressing room after games, the ice baths he spent hours in, or the sleepless nights as inflammation pulsed through his joints. He didn't complain, he just did what he always did. Put on his boots, walked onto the pitch, and tried to break the net with his shots. International career with Argentina. For Argentina, Batistuta was a symbol of hope and fire. He played in 3 World Cups, 1994, 1998, and 2002, scoring in all of them, the only Argentine to do so. In 1994, in the heat of the USA, he scored 4 goals, including a stunning hat-trick against Greece. His power and finishing helped Argentina storm through the group stage, though the team's campaign ultimately ended in chaos after Maradona's infamous doping scandal. In 1998, he was even better, scoring 5 goals and delivering another hat-trick against Jamaica. Argentina reached the quarterfinals, only falling to a last-minute Bergkamp masterpiece against the Netherlands. Though the team didn't win it all, Batistuta left his mark with fierce goals, memorable celebrations, and that unstoppable will to win. In 2002, at age 33, he battled injuries yet again, scoring 1 goal before Argentina's shock group stage exit. His international career wasn't decorated with World Cup trophies, but it was filled with iconic moments and proof of his world-class quality. He also won the Copa America twice, in 1991 and 1993, scoring critical goals in both tournaments and helping Argentina end a long drought for international silverware. To this day, his 54 goals and 77 appearances remain one of Argentina's top-scoring records, testament to his deadly efficiency and consistency in the Albiceleste shirt. Playing style. Gabriel Batistuta wasn't subtle. He didn't dance past defenders with Messi-like dribbles, or glide with Ronaldo Nazario's sleek moves. He was raw power and directness embodied. When he got the ball, he wanted one thing: to put it in the net as quickly and brutally as possible. His right foot was a cannon, capable of sending balls into the top corner at terrifying speed. His headers were equally lethal. He used his 6'1" frame to dominate aerial duels. Yet he wasn't just brawn. Batistuta understood space. He made clever runs, drew defenders away to open lanes for teammates, and timed his moves perfectly to beat offside traps. He also had the poise to finish with finesse when needed, placing delicate chips or curling shots around keepers. He combined aggression with intelligence, making him a nightmare for defenders who couldn't predict if he'd smash the ball or caress it. Perhaps most impressively, he did all this while enduring brutal marking and near-constant fouling, proving not just skill but staggering mental toughness. The move to Roma. Eventually, Batistuta did leave Fiorentina. In 2000, age 31, he joined Roma for around $36 million, a record fee for a player of his age at the time. Many thought he was past his prime. Instead, he scored 20 league goals in his debut season, helping Roma win their first Serie A title since 1983. It was the only top-flight league title of his career, and it felt like poetic justice. Batistuta, the loyal warrior who had given everything to Florence, finally had the championship he deserved, even if it came wearing Roma's colors. He celebrated that title with tears in his eyes, dedicating it to everyone who had believed in him. But age and injuries were catching up. He later moved to Inter and then to Al Arabi in Qatar before finally retiring in 2005. Even as his body failed him, his legend never faded. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories of underappreciated football legends who gave everything for the love of the game. Thanks for watching, and join us next time as we uncover more forgotten heroes of the beautiful sport.